Vinsmoke Judge debuted on the 29th of March 2018. As the anime progressed through Whole Cake Island, many players were excited at the fact that the Germa Double 6 would receive a dedicated Sugo-Fest batch of characters showcasing the synergy in more ways than one. The characters included in this batch included Vinsmoke Yunji, Vinsmoke Niji, Vinsmoke Ichiji, as well as Vinsmoke Reiju. And the Sugo-Fest exclusive character of the batch included the figurehead of the Germa Double 6 with a captain effect that allowed his sons and daughter to receive more matching slots, as well as providing great bulk to tank enemy hits. With a special ability that fills in the gaps for the rest of the batch, allowing a high chance at matching slots and granting a slot boosting effect, we saw a small era of cookie cutter teams. Introducing Vinsmoke Judge. In this series, we'll be traveling back in time to experience some of the older Sugo-Fest exclusive characters in their prime, aiming to show just what it was like to use these characters on their debut. I hope you enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's enter the Legends of OPTC. So thank you very much for checking out another episode of the Legends of OPTC, and today we're checking out the Germa Double 6 Sugo-Fest batch. This is a very exciting Sugo-Fest on release, as you know, we were seeing the characters release in the anime and the manga. We're very excited for these characters to arrive in Treasure Cruise, and the way that they designed this batch was so fascinating. We'd never seen anything like it before, where all of the rare recruits and the Sugo-Fest exclusive had perfect synergy. They worked so well together, and of course they did get that super evolution, you know, not too far after their release, which made them even better than what they already were. So we're going to jump into this video. We're going to talk about each of these rare recruits, and we'll talk about Judge as well. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First one here is Yunji. Now, of course, each of their colored hair also represents their typing in the game. So we've got Yunji, who is a Dex powerhouse fighter, and their captain abilities are relatively similar of these rare recruits, you know, boosting the color of their unit by 2.25. They also boost the attack of Powerhouse by 1.3 and give a Powerhouse HP boost as well. So it's a 3 times attack boost to Dex and Powerhouse units, which is obviously not bad back then, but of course, with the power of Sugo-Fest exclusives ramping up, these rare recruit captain abilities never really saw play. And then the special ability, they each have a different part of their special. They've got 2 different effects, one depending on the type of the captain, and one depending on the class of the captain. So if your captain is either Dex or Psi, Yunji will give you an attack boost of 1.75 against delayed enemies. And then if your captain is Powerhouse, he's going to go ahead and add 40 times his attack as tap timing bonus damage for 1 turn. So this special ability of Yunji wasn't really that great. I mean, the tap timing bonus damage, back then tap timing bonus was still relatively fine. But I mean, delayed attack boost was fine. Of course, you know, immunity buffs were still a thing back then, so delayed conditional boost seemed pretty good. There weren't many high conditional boosters back then. If you look back at it now, it's not that good. But, you know, Yunji did see a little bit of play here and there. And one thing to really talk about as well, and why this batch was as good as what it was, is that they all have a Sailor effect or crewmate ability of making Psi slots beneficial. So you got to remember that when we get to Sugo-Fest exclusive Judge a little bit later on in the video. So the next character is Vinsmoke Niji, which of course is going to be a quick character, powerhouse fighter, and the captain ability very similar to what Yunji was, quick and powerhouse attack boost, powerhouse health boost, also making Psi slots beneficial to himself. And then the special ability of this character, if your captain is quick or Psi, you get a 1.75 attack boost for 2 turns, and if you've got a powerhouse captain, he locks your slots for 1 turn. So this character was really good, and this character saw play not only on Germa Double 6 teams, but also other powerhouse teams and other quick teams in the future, getting a free attack boost. And if you do have a powerhouse captain, you get an all block as well. Recently, I actually used it on like a versus Akainu team as a crewmate because of the all block and the attack boost that synergizes well with versus Akainu. So even today's day and age, this special ability is not awful. You're not going to use it in like super high difficult content, but still, you know, not a bad special ability, especially back then. Very, very useful rare recruit. Next, we have Vinsmoke Ichiji being a strength powerhouse fighter, and the captain ability once again being the same, strength and powerhouse attack, powerhouse health boost, Psi slots beneficial as a crewmate to himself, and his special that if your captain is strength or Psi, you get a 2.5 chain lock for 2 turns, and if you got a powerhouse captain, he delays for 2 turns. So of course you can use this in partnership partnership with Yunji to get the delayed conditional boost against the enemy, and a 2.5 chain lock for 2 turns, pretty valuable. There weren't really too many multi-turn chain lockers. This can be used in a lot of different situations. You can use it before you enter a stage so that you can avoid being hit with a really negative chain lock. It's a really good way to get around enemy preemptive ones. So that was used a little bit back in the day, but still 2.5 chain lock for 2 turns and a delay as well. Like, what more could you really ask for from one of these rare recruits back in 2017, 18-ish? Not too many rare recruits are really that powerful, and not too many chain lockers were in the game either. So this just added to the powerhouse class, making them even better than what they already were. And then the last of the rare recruit batch, we have Vinsmoke Reiju, and Reiju being an int powerhouse cerebral character with a captain ability that was a little bit different in that it was an int and powerhouse attack boost, but instead of boosting health, it would boost recovery instead, once again making psi slots beneficial. And also, if your captain is int or psi, recovers 7,000 HP and remove poison completely, and also reduce paralysis, despair, and special bind by 3 turns, also resisting it by 3 turns with the limit break crewmate effect. But then if your captain is powerhouse, you get a damage reduction effect for 2 turns. So yeah, pretty good effect. This was the utility character of the batch, and on release, this utility was actually pretty valuable to own. And the damage reduction was kind of just an added effect, making the whole team relatively tanky, which is nice. But overall, this character wasn't really used for overall damage, but nice to have the type coverage with the team, as every character on the team will fulfill a different type, allowing you to get some type advantage against almost any fight, which is so good. And then we got the big bad daddy himself, Vinsmoke Judge, who is a psi powerhouse driven, so he's not cerebral like Reiju, or not a fighter character like the Suns. He is driven, powerhouse driven psi, and his captain ability was pretty interesting. It would increase the rate of psi slots appearing, remember the crewmate abilities of the rest of the batch, also 15% damage reduction with a 1.25 health boost, and then if you have a strength, dex, quick, psi, and int character on your crew, he would give you a 2.25 times attack boost, but the attack boost would increase to 3.93 if you have a beneficial slot. So this was really focused around having one of every color and getting matching slots. If you do that, it's going to be phenomenal. The fact that this character also had damage reduction and also a health boost was also something that we hadn't seen that much before. I mean, this guy was an extremely tanky captain, and remember, you also have Reiju as a sub to give you damage reduction, so with this guy as a captain with Reiju, you're tanking damage really well and increasing the rate of psi slots with double judge. It does increase it by quite a fair margin, and you just got to make sure you have one of every color. It doesn't matter if it's a powerhouse unit or not. You just have to be one of every color, and of course, this character being a psi character as well as powerhouse fulfills all the conditions for all of the sons and daughters special abilities to get both abilities to activate, which is really, really nice. And then the special ability of Judge, which would reduce bind duration by 7 turns and would boost the orbs of all characters by 2 times. And then if this character is your captain or your friend captain, increases the rate of psi slots appearing and shuffles slots randomly, including block slots. So this is one of the most annoying things about Judge, is that he doesn't guarantee you a full board of slots. It's just a random shuffle. So if you get really bad luck, you legit have to reset the game, launch the special again, and hope that you get better luck with your orb shuffle. It was really annoying to use him, and it means that as a crewmate, you don't get access to this effect either, which really does suck. But still, as a crewmate, still getting 7 turns of bind removal and a 2 times orb boost is still pretty valuable to own, to be honest. But yeah, it is a little bit of a shame that the orb shuffle only happens as a captain, but of course he gets the most out of it as a captain, increasing the rate of psi slots already naturally, and of course the fact that all of the crewmates have that sailor effect to make it beneficial, the chances of you getting matching slots if you have all these characters on your crew is pretty high. So let's go ahead and see what kind of content we're going to be playing today. We've got 3 different pieces of content. I believe we have a repeating one with Clash Doflamingo, the int variation. I really hope we don't land on him, but we'll have to wait and see. But we've also got Colosseum Lucy, which we didn't land on last week, and Colosseum Sicilian. So I'm really interested to see what we kind of land on today. I think Judge is going to be a lot of fun to use. I say that all the time about all these old legends. They're always going to be a lot of fun to use. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see what we land on. If it's Dofi, I kind of just want to spin it again, to be honest. So what's it going to be? Oh, just landed on Colosseum Sicilian. Just landed on it. Alright, that's cool. So let's go ahead and build a team and take on Sicilian Colosseum, which I'm not too sure how difficult it is, but I'm really excited to go ahead and take it on. So we're now in game with my man Vinsmoke Judge, head of the Vinsmoke family. His life goals are revenge against the North Blue and the restoration of the Germa Kingdom. As a part of his plan, he arranged for the marriage of his son Sanji, the family black sheep, to a daughter of Big Mom, which we now know is Pudding, of course. So here we go. And of course, we're going to be running the full squad. That's what we're going to be doing. Nothing really too crazy. We have the Ichiji, Niji, Yunji, and Reiju, as well as using the Zunisha ship, which by this time, this ship was actually released, which goes to show how old this ship is and how good it still is. So it's a really good ship considering the whole team will be powerhouse, and we get the side slots matching because of all of their crewmate abilities and stuff, but also recovery in tandem will be beneficial too. So this is going to be a crazy team. We should be seeing lots of matching slots and lots of high natural damage. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So shout out to my girl Karissa for putting up her own Vinsmoke judge, which we can go ahead and use today. And dude, I'm really pumped to go ahead and use the German. This is a long time coming. Long time since I've actually used this team. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take on the final round versus Sicilian. Let's jump into it. Let's get it. First thing is first, we're going to get our cooldowns, of course, so we want to make sure we get the appropriate stall, and of course, starting off with many matching slots, so that's going to be really good. We will have to probably take some hits, which is fine. You know, we got plenty of HP to play with, plus remember, we get natural damage reduction with Judge's Captain ability. We have both captains giving us the damage reduction, which is great, and we should be getting at least 1,000 heal per turn. I believe we should be getting 1,000 heal per turn. Let's go ahead and use Ichiji here. We don't really want to use Judge against these turtles, just in case if it does kill them. It probably won't, but look at how many side slots that we're just naturally getting every single turn. Absolutely absurd. I mean, we get a deck slot there. If you do have, you know, level 3 matching slot rate, that will also increase the highest chance of you getting the slots that you actually want to get. I believe my team... Actually, I can pull up the actual powers that I am using real quick. If we go to active effects and then ability list... No, we want to see active powers. Active powers. Yeah, so I've got level 1 matching slot rate. We have a lot of additional slots that are just not doing nothing. But, of course, you know, I wanted to make sure that I could socket these characters to be used in other different teams, of course. But let's go ahead and see what we got. So let's go ahead and move on. I think we can pretty much move on from here. I don't think there's really much need for us to stall at this point. Battle 2, what have we got? We've got a bunch of mobs. Nothing really too crazy again. We'll just hit naturally. Matching slot going to kill that guy. We are pretty much good to go. I am going to stall a couple more turns. Kill this guy here, and then we'll move on in the next room. So this is going to be cool, dude. I'm really excited to use these characters again. I just want to see how much damage they can do, and I really want to see their special animations as well, because it's been a while since I've seen that. So let's move on and take on Battle 3, which is going to be Carrot. Okay, so Carrot is going to... Is that paralysis? Yeah, it is. 3 turns of paralysis, and they get an immunity buff. Well, luckily for us, we have Reiju's special ability, which gives us the healing, poison removal, paralysis, despair, special bind, and also damage reduction. So this is going to reduce damage taken, and also just getting rid of that paralysis is going to be huge for us here. I don't believe we're going to need Reiju later on, so I believe we can use her here. Get rid of that paralysis. We could probably use a special here to do additional damage, but I think it's probably going to be wise if we just do regular hits first. Probably should have saved the Yunji for Carrot herself. But we just naturally kill it, which is so good. The amount of raw damage that we're getting with this team is incredible. Alright, so here we go with Wanda this time. So Wanda is going to do what exactly? So just an orb shuffle. Okay, we should just be able to go ahead and use Judge Special. Now, if we get really unlucky, we may have to go ahead and reset the game. So we'll see what we've got here. Judge's special animation is always kind of goofy. Does this huge kick. What do we get? Oh, that's exactly what we wanted to see. Dude, we're just blasting through this. There's really not a lot to this Colosseum, to be honest. So once again, we can just tap with the right tap timing against Wanda and get the dub, right? Easy. Oh, wait, what do you do? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, she revives. Okay, I was not anticipating this. We'd have a lot of slots. I think we're actually just okay just to attack. Alright, easy. Easy, easy, easy. No problems whatsoever. Alright, moving on. Boss stage. Okay, so Sicilian, he's kind of interesting. If you do, like, a damage dealing special to him, he does, like, nasty things. But the good thing about the Germa squad is that none of them have damage dealing specials, which, obviously, when we look at it now, in today's day and age, the fact that a character doesn't do a damage dealing special actually really hurts the character. But nowadays, like back when this character first came out, it didn't really make a difference if he did or he didn't. So first thing is first, we're going to use Judge first, because if we get really bad slots, we're going to reset. It probably won't matter anyway, just as long as the 2 captains get matching slots. That's going to be the most important thing here. So let's see. Okay, we got matching slots there. I mean, Yunji didn't get it, but it's not really going to be a problem. We can go ahead and use Yunji's special ability, which will give us tap timing bonus damage, as well as giving a 1.75 delayed conditional attack boost. And then we can delay the enemy with the Ichiji special, and we are actually given a 2-turn chain coefficient reduction, which we can use Ichiji to provide that chain lock for us as well. So we've got the conditional boost currently active, we have an orb boost, and we're going to get an attack boost with Niji as well. So this is going to do a lot of damage, and I don't think we're going to hit with all of our characters. He's probably going to die really, really quickly here. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and hit with the Germa squad. Here we go. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we could end on Judge. Plenty of damage output there. And this is the time in the day and age of Treasure Cruise where we started hitting those massive numbers with some of these rare recruits and legend characters. Really, really satisfying. We just blew through that. That was incredibly easy. I'm pretty sure, actually thinking about it now, this team probably was the batch team that you were supposed to use against this content in the first place. I mean, hey, it is what it is. It really does showcase the strength of this team, but maybe adaptiveness, maybe not so much, but still incredibly impressive. So with that, that is going to wrap up yet another episode of the Legends of OPTC. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video as we get to go ahead and use Judge again, which has been a really long time since I've gone ahead and used him. But in next week's episode, we're going to go ahead and use V2 Fujitora, which a character that on release was really lacking some punch, but I hope that we can go ahead and showcase him in some content next week and see how good he actually is. So thank you very much for watching the video, guys, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.